Saudi Arabia has an oil-based economy with strong government control over major economic activities. The Saudi economy is the largest in the Arab world. Saudi Arabia possesses 18% of the world's proven petroleum reserves, ranks as the largest exporter of petroleum, and played a leading role in OPEC for many years. The petroleum sector accounts for almost all of Saudi government revenues and export earnings. Most workers, particularly in the private sector, are non-nationals. Past of Saudi Arabia economy. Saudi Arabia was a subsistence economy until the 1930s. During the 1973 oil crisis, Saudi began to grow rapidly and peaked around 1980. In the mid-1980s, the oil price dropped from a high of $40 per barrel to around $5, and the country built up a massive overseas debt. From 2002 to mid-2008, oil prices recovered, allowing the government to post budget surpluses and boost spending. During the 1973 oil crisis, OPEC production cuts raised the price of petroleum from $3 per barrel to nearly $12. Saudi became one of the fastest growing economies in the world. It enjoyed a substantial surplus in its overall trade with other countries. Imports increased rapidly, and ample government revenues were available for development, defense, and aid to other Arab and Islamic countries. Another price jolt around 1980 during the Iran-Iraq War brought Saudi Arabia to what has, so far, been its economic peak, in terms of per capita income. In June 1993, Saudi Aramco absorbed the state marketing and refining company, Samarek, becoming the world's largest fully integrated oil company. Most Saudi oil exports move by tanker from oil terminals at Ras Tanura and Juma in the Persian Gulf. The remaining oil exports are transported via the East-West pipeline across the kingdom to the Red Sea port of Yanbu. A major new gas initiative promises to bring significant investment by U.S. and European oil companies to develop non-associated gas fields in 3 separate parts of Saudi Arabia. Following final technical agreements with concession awardees in December 2001, development should begin in 2002. However, beginning in late 1997, Saudi Arabia again faced the challenge of low oil prices. Due to a combination of factors, the East Asian economic crises, a warm winter in the west caused by El Niño, and an increase in non-OPEC oil production, demand for oil slowed and pulled oil prices down by more than 1/3. Saudi Arabia was a key player in coordinating the successful 1999 campaign of OPEC and other oil-producing countries to raise the price of oil to its highest level since the Persian Gulf War by managing production and supply of petroleum. That same year, Saudi Arabia established the Supreme Economic Council to formulate and better coordinate economic development policies in order to accelerate institutional and industrial reform. Saudi Arabia acceded to the WTO in 2005 after many years of negotiations. Present of Saudi Arabia economy. Saudi Arabia has the world's 20th largest economy by nominal GDP is $689.004 billion by IMF estimates for the year 2017, and the 14th largest economy by PPP is $1.803 trillion. Nominal GDP per capita in 2017 is $21,100 and PPP is $55,229. GDP growth rate is 1.0% in 2016, 1.6% in 2017. Unemployment rate is 10.4% in 2016. Ease of doing business ranked 94th in 2017. GDP by sector. Agriculture, 3.2%, industry, 60.4%, services, 36.4%. Saudi Arabia has since become the world's largest oil producer and exporter, controlling the world's 2nd largest oil reserves and the 6th largest gas reserves. The kingdom is categorized as a World Bank high-income economy with a high Human Development Index and is the only Arab country to be part of the G20 major economies. Proven reserves, according to figures provided by the Saudi government, are estimated to be 260 billion barrels, 41 cubic kilometers, about 1/4 of world oil reserves. Petroleum in Saudi Arabia is not only plentiful but under pressure and close to the Earth's surface. This makes it far cheaper and thus far more profitable to extract petroleum in Saudi Arabia than in many other places. The petroleum sector accounts for roughly 92.5% of Saudi budget revenues, 97% of export earnings, and 55% of GDP. Another 40% of GDP comes from the private sector. An estimated 2013 million foreigners work legally in Saudi Arabia, playing a crucial role in the Saudi economy, for example, in the oil and service sectors. The government has encouraged private sector growth for many years to lessen the kingdom's dependence on oil, and to increase employment opportunities for the swelling Saudi population. In recent decades, the government has begun to permit private sector and foreign investor participation in sectors such as power generation and telecom, and acceded to the WTO. With its absolute monarchy system of government, large state sector and supply of welfare benefits, the Saudi economy has been described as a bewildering, at least to outsiders, combination of a feudal fealty system and a more modern political patronage one. At every level and every sphere of activity, Saudis maneuver through life manipulating individual privileges, favors, obligations, and connections. By the same token, the government bureaucracy is a maze of overlapping or conflicting power center under the patronage of various royal princes with their own priorities and agendas to pursue and dependents to satisfy. Future of Saudi Arabia economy. Future plan is packed with targets. There are 755 initiatives for the National Transportation Program alone, Majd bin Abdullah Al-Kaysabi, the Saudi Minister of Commerce and Investment, said at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Jadin noted that the plan calls for doubling the number of tourists, including pilgrims to Mecca, by building a new railroad between Mecca and Medina, and a new airport. Mohammed bin Salman, son of the king, has set out to reinvent the Saudi economy by the year 2030. His plan, called Vision 2030, would foster new private businesses, improve education and trim the budget deficit by cutting subsidies and introducing a 5% value-added tax. The Public Investment Fund, which will become a more active sovereign wealth fund, has unveiled plans for a new entertainment city the size of Las Vegas south of the capital, Riyadh. It would feature a Six Flags theme park and a safari park, an effort to get Saudis to vacation in the country instead of abroad. The Financial Times reported that in a bid to bolster the popularity of the Deputy Crown Prince, the government allowed the popular Saudi singer Mohammed Abdullah to perform publicly. He sold out 4 concerts, though they were for men only. But in the United States, much of the attention has been focused on the initial public offering for Saudi Aramco. Pavel Molchanov, energy analyst at the advisory firm Raymond James, has called Saudi Aramco a complete black box, and in a note to investors a year ago said that if they are truly willing to open the doors, that will mark a colossal policy shift. Investors are champing at the bit to know Saudi Aramco's true crude oil production costs, believed to be in the mid-single digits per barrel because of the nature of their prolific reservoirs. They also wonder what the kingdom's true maximum production capacity is, an important component of calculating how much spare capacity there is for world markets. Saudi officials have pegged reserves at 266 billion barrels, a figure that has changed little even as the country has remained the world's largest exporter.
Hope you like our video. Hit the like button. More updates are coming. So, please subscribe us. Thanks for watching.